Hey guys, it's your girl Sunshine Love and welcome to my channel. I am super excited to talk with you today about a topic that I know that we all avoid, which is holding a grudge and who is it really hurting. Now, before we get into it, get into the nitty-gritty, right? And we start peeling back those layers. The first thing I want you to do is, you already know, hit that subscribe button so you can get the latest notifications when I start dropping these videos. Now, this topic is going to be a 4-video series. So today, we're going to be discussing series 1. All right? So, make sure you get your journal, your favorite pen, okay? Something to write down with, right? Because we're going to be writing down some things. Make sure you get your drink. I got my coffee and I got my water, okay? Now, I have my notes written down, so you will see me looking off camera a little bit because I have about 3 different computers going on. I have my notes on 3 different ways, but I made sure that I got all of the information from here and here, what God wanted me to give to you today, to make sure that we're providing you with all the resources and tools so you can be effective, right? Okay. And then I also have about 2 cameras going on. So, needless to say, your girl got a lot going on behind this camera, okay? So, let's get into it. I got my notes. Now, the first step that we want to do, I feel like let me adjust this for a second. Okay. I feel like I was off a little bit. Okay. The first step that I need for you to do is admit and acknowledge to yourself that the pain and the hurt that you have been experiencing or has experienced has formed into a grudge, right? Now, if you have your tablet or your notebook or whatever you're taking your notes on, we got the topic written down. The first question I want you to ask yourself and admit to: are you holding a grudge from pain, hurt, from recently, from the past? Right? Now, let's look at the true definition of a grudge. And when we look at that definition, it's a persistent feeling or ill will or resentment resulting from a past hurt, right? A hurtful experience, or even an injury in some instances. And being resentful, I'm sorry, it's my dogs. And I also have my window up, so I'm sorry if the background noise can be a little loud, okay? But my dogs be doing the most for no reason. Right, so getting back into the definition. Being resentful, unwilling to give, grant, or allow something, right? We're mad, we're upset. Those feelings are valid, right? From there, we start to suppress the pain. We start to get upset. We start to get angry. We start developing those feelings of emotion. And from there, it starts to be a behavior, right? A pattern that we're developing. Sometimes it's from past hurt and trauma. Sometimes it's from us avoiding how we've things that have happened in our past, and this is our way of dealing with it, right? Flowing into not willing to forgive. Now, what is forgiveness? Because a grudge is attached to your inability or unwillingness to forgive, right? ultimately. It's the action or process of forgiving or being forgiven. Forgiveness can mean different things for different people. So how I forgive and how you forgive or choose to or choose not to can be different for many of us. See Blue on camera, that's Blue. Okay. He's looking out the window. But ultimately, it's your ability to want to forgive. That's what forgiveness is. To not want to hold on to that anger, the bitterness, the resentment, all the things that typically develop when we hold a grudge. Now, for many of us, we don't go out saying, you know what, today somebody hurt me and I'm gonna be mad and I'm gonna hold a grudge. This is how I'm going to choose to react from today. In many instances, it's a coping mechanism that we have developed from the past, and the avoidance of not wanting to address it, the fear of having to confront it, right? So it's been easier for many of us just to isolate ourselves, detach ourselves from the person, and we're on guard 24 hours, 7 days a week. However, it starts to spill out in other areas of our life. Okay, so these are the things that typically develop, again, that grow and manifest if you choose to not to forgive. Now, many choose not to want to forgive, and again, they rather want to hold on to the anger because that's a sense of control. I can control that. What I can't control is what happens after that. Or this is my way of saying, hey, I really don't want to get into a confrontation with you, so this is what I'm choosing not to do to avoid any drama or mess. Now, because of the feeling of not forgiving, it's allowing that behavior and action to continue. It's allowing for it to fester with that grudge because you are truly avoiding dealing with the problem. You are truly denying dealing with that hurt, right? Now, your mind is telling you that I cannot forgive because of whatever past hurt that was done. You've already told yourself that, which is why you're choosing to go this route, right? Again, your feelings and your emotions are valid. We will not evade that. We can't avoid that. They are truly valid, right? But if we truly think about it, who are we really hurting? We're not hurting the other person because they're moving on with their life. It could be a scenario where they don't even know what they did in an action sense, right? And you have to really ask yourself, is holding this grudge really beneficial? Write that down. Is holding the grudge that I have been holding for 6 months, for years, has it been beneficial? Right? Is holding on to that and not forgiving in any way helped you? Write that down. How has it been beneficial and how has it helped you? Right? This is unpeeling those layers. This is us having self-accountability and being honest with us. Because if we can't be honest with ourselves, we can't learn how to move into the transition of self-love and self-care and healing. Because this is all what this is about. Healing for you, mind, body, spirit, soul. Right? You can't live an effective, happy life within you if you're holding on to a grudge and being upset. Because here's what we do. We get upset about certain things that happen and certain things that people have done and they've said to us, whether they're valid or they're not valid. And we hold on to that grudge and we build anger and we build resentment and we build bitterness. And then we try to function healthy and cohesively in other areas of our life. And we're wondering why we're so overwhelmed on our jobs, why we're so frustrated with our kids and we lash out quickly. That's because you're suppressing that anger and that grudge, and is therefore manifesting into something else. And then here's another thing that we do. We go and we pray to God to ask to bless us with a promotion, or bless our business and bless us to grow. But yet we're holding on to something, and we've allowed it to build up into something that is negative rather than positive. Right? Something to think about. Have you been praying for God to bless you and still holding on to a grudge and being mad and being upset? Now, again, your feelings and your emotion are valid. We are entitled to feel how we feel because we're human. It's a natural feeling. But what happens that becomes the problem is when we transition it into a behavior and a reaction. We're reacting off of the action. And in a lot of instances, it's still valid, right? We have a lot of trauma that many of us have dealt with in the past years. Rape, molestation. And this scenario and this topic, although in a general sense, it can heal a lot of things generally, but there's some deep-rooted hurt and pain and trauma that is not so easy for us to get over. For me, going through molestation, going through rape, those were serious issues that I dealt with, right? And it took a lot for me to really see myself how God sees me. It took a lot for me to try to really want to forgive and let go of the past and the things that people had done to me. Like, I was feeling some type of way, and I really wasn't willing to let that go. I was willing to function in my life and hold on to that anger because I was so mad at the individuals who hurt me. Because I felt like when you go through life, there are certain people that you put your trust in, that you go into it mindfully. These are people that will never hurt me. And when they do, it is a ultimate life mind shocker. And it's very hard to just move and navigate through the course of life and just be happy and in peaches and cream and say, hey, I'm going to forgive today. I get it. Wholeheartedly, I get it. So, when that hurt of somebody we really trust, who we think that will never hurt us, when that happens, that's a true deep-rooted hurt, right? So, I get it. In many instances, it's realizing the act, the betrayal, or the hurt that was caused. Could it very well not be your fault? Because we tend to blame ourselves, right? In some shape, form, or fashion. Whether it be, I should not have allowed myself to get this close. I knew better. A whole series of questions that you ask yourself, right? When in all actuality, the fact that some people really don't know how to love us. There's some people who truly don't know how to love themselves. There's some people who don't even know what happiness is. There are many people that are going through life functioning off of trauma and past hurt from childhood that came into adulthood. So we really have to understand that in a lot of instances, they tend to self-sabotage themselves and create unintentional and sometimes intentional hurt in a lot of areas, right? Now, we don't think about that in the moment, but it kind of helps you to understand in some situations why people tend to do what they do. This tends to happen when unresolved issues, again, from the past are not properly healed. Childhood trauma. We tend to learn how to deal with disagreements and issues when we grow up. As a child, we watch our parents. For some of us, we grow up into two-parent household. For some of us, we grow up with a single mother who's had to work several jobs, doing a lot of things, and just doing and giving, and maybe in a relationship may not be. So you have mothers that in those times that were just really doing a lot and on the spectrum of love and attention and emotions, some of the time they didn't always have the opportunity to give it. And there are some scenarios where mothers were doing it all, loving and caring, and was there hands down. So there's a lot of different scenarios out there, right? And we have to understand that when we come from those dynamics and then we try to have relationships with these people, and now we're trying to blend families, we have to go into mindfully that we're dealing with different people who learn different ways, process things differently, grow up differently, right? So again, that kind of is to give you an idea, understanding of, the kind of people that we're dealing with in these days and times. So what's the first step? The first step is to acknowledge and be honest with yourself. Why are you holding a grudge? Write that down. Why am I holding a grudge? Now, everything that you're writing down, I want you to answer it, because you're going to go back after this first series and you're going to reread this out loud to yourself when you're by yourself quietly. So you should have written down, why am I holding a grudge? And you should have answered that. And be honest, right? And identify and acknowledge what happened. The hurtful act that was caused, what impacted you mentally, emotionally, and physically, what put you in this grudgeful place. Own it, acknowledge it, stand on it, but be honest. Right? Now, once you do that, ask yourself, how did you handle it and how did you address it? That's the next thing you write down. How did I handle it? How did I address it? Doesn't matter whether it's the right way, wrong way. We're being transparent in this moment. We're peeling back those layers. Okay? Now, did you immediately go into, this person did this to me, this person said this to me, so I'm shutting down, I don't have anything to say to them, I don't want to have anything to deal with them, and this has been your way of dealing with everything? Or did you just confront them and then you shut down? How did you handle it? Okay? Did you address the act and the hurt with the person, giving them the opportunity to respond? Because you have to understand that although we know what hurt us, a lot of times we suppress our feelings and our emotions, and we don't confront people, and we're not honest with them at how they make us feel. And then we kind of change how we interact around them. Sometimes it's subconsciously that we do that. Now, could it very well be that the person that hurt you did not know that they hurt you? Now, again, this is not for every situation. But could it very well be that if someone said something to you, that they are not really aware that they hurt your feelings? Think about that. Now, in some cases, again, not all, when we immediately shut down, we revoke the other person's opportunity to give them the chance to explain and say, hey, either one, I did know that and I'm sorry that I did not immediately apologize to you and own up to it, or either I did not know, I was not aware, I'm so sorry. Because again, you have to understand that because we're dealing with different mindsets of people, we process things differently. So what may hurt you may not hurt me, and vice versa, right? I could be a little bit more sensitive emotionally because of things that I have experienced in past relationship and in my childhood, where somebody lashed out at me, or somebody was always talking about me, or my feelings were always were in a phase of getting hurt, right? So when you deal with those kind of people, it's natural that they go through life and they're a little bit more sensitive to their feelings because they went through experiences and environments where somebody talked about them all the time, always being gossiped about, always having to be put in position to have to defend themselves. Now, it's not the other person's fault that they did not know that. It's just that words hurt people. We will, and we go into it and say, hey, I got a tough skin, I'm not concerned about work. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words never hurt me. Words actually do hurt, right? Now, because of it could very well be the case that the other person did not know the impact or the significance, by not addressing the hurt, you take away that person's options. You take away the right to apologize. You take away the opportunity to confront. And again, they could very well not know, not be aware. And we tend to go into many situations with uncommunicated expectations, perceptions, and we expect for people to know what they know and know how you hurt me and know what you should have did and know what you should not have said. And that's not always the case. You know, we have to understand that we go into a lot of relationships with expectations and checklists and perceptions, and a lot of it is deriving from past relationships and hurt and pain that we've endured. So we've been cheated on, we've been hurt, and we go into the next relationship saying, hey, you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. But that hasn't been communicated with the person that you're with. So then when they don't do what you want them to do and you get let down and you get hurt, then that becomes a problem. Now, here's something that I want you to write down and remember. Now, on my mirror in my bathroom, I kind of go through a routine. I wake up, I try my best to say my prayers before my feet hit the ground. And then as I'm getting dressed, I have this typed up positive affirmation verse that I have to look at every time I go to my bathroom and brush my teeth. And it's thanking God for waking me up, my health, my strength, my family, my children. It's telling myself that I'm worthy, I'm enough, I'll always be enough, and I've always been enough. And I'm learning from every situation to help better understand myself. That I'm going into today knowing that it's going to be a great day, a positive and productive day. I'm not defined by mistreatment. I'm not defined by other people's actions. I am more than enough. I am loved. I am beautiful inside and out. And I am a gift from God. Now, I recommend that you type something up that you can read out loud, because that's manifesting positivity into your life and that's setting the tone for your day. Right? So, whatever verbiage works for you. Positivity, right? But here's something that I can suggest that you try. And write it down. Hope you got your pad and your pen, okay? You ready? I want to experience the life that I deserve. I want to experience the life that I deserve. I choose to use the time and energy that I am blessed with to be the best version of me. Again, I choose to use the time and energy that I am blessed with to be the best version of me. I choose to forgive me and anyone that has hurt me. I choose to forgive me and anyone that has hurt me. I choose to release anger, bitterness, resentment, and grudges for myself. Again, I choose to release anger, bitterness, resentments, and grudges for myself. I let go of what I cannot change. Again, I let go of what I cannot change. Grudges are a waste of my intended happiness. Grudges are a waste of my intended happiness. I love me. I am happy with me. And God has so much in store for me. Again, I love me. I am happy with me. And God has so much in store for me. And lastly, life is too short to be unhappy. So today, I choose happiness. I hope you wrote that down. You can add on to it. You can take away whatever works for you, right? But I'm hoping you're not taking anything away, and I hope that you're adding on to it. Type it up on your computer, print it out at work, whatever it is. I use sticky notes. I write it down. I need to be able to see it, right? Okay. Now here is a verse that you can also write down that may be able to help you as well. And it's, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who mistreat you. Luke 6:27-28. Again, Luke 6 verses 27-28. Love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. And pray for those who mistreat you. God can handle people in situations far greater than we can. Got to give it to him. You got to surrender, right? As hard as it is, it's okay to let go. Okay. So, again, we're back into acknowledging and identifying. Your feelings, emotions, I will continue to tell you, they are valid. It's understandable that you've been upset and why you are upset. You are entitled to feel very well how you feel, and nobody can take that away from you. Okay? But at some point, the root of the problem, the grudge, has to be addressed. We can't continue to walk through life and want to experience the abundant blessing that God has to bestow on us if we're deciding to, hey, I'm going to be mad, I'm going to be angry, you did this, you said this, you hurt me. Either you A, owned up to it, or either B, you didn't, and I'm still hurt, I'm still feel some kind of way. And now that's formed into anger. That's formed into you being overwhelmed and stressed out and upset all the time. It's not beneficial. It's not helping you. It's actually being counterproductive at this point. And we have to be honest. Okay? What was it that hurt you? We should have written that down. What hurt you? Who hurt you? Right? Is it something that was said about you? Is it something that happened that triggered from past trauma? So you're therefore deciding, hey, this is how I'm going to handle every situation and everybody moving forward in my life. This is the wall that I'm putting up, right? Okay? I'm not dealing with this or that because someone in the past hurt me in some type of way, and this is how I'm coping with it, and this is how I'm handling it, and I feel like it worked for me. But is it really? Okay? But we know that it's not working, because that's why we're here right now, right? Okay? You have to ultimately be happy with you. how you're functioning, how you're coping, how you're coexisting. Your happiness matters. And can you truly be honest with yourself and say that you're happy right now? Why am I not happy? Write down in your journal, what does happiness and love look like to me? When I look in the mirror, what are some things that I love about myself? What are some things that I love about me? How you start doing that is you need to start experiencing you. You need to start seeing you how God sees you. The beautiful and unique, handsome person that you are. The unique gift that you possess. Because here's what happens. We think that problems and situations arise because the enemy is trying to steal our material possessions or trying to upset us where we can't function. Listen, it's about your joy, your peace, and your happiness. Things that you can't just buy at a store. So if I get you so distracted, if I get you so consumed with your anger, with your bitterness, that you will be so distracted that you won't even think about your purpose. You won't even think about the fact that God blessed you with a unique gift and there's a purpose, design, and set on your life for you to do great things and help people. But if I get you so upset and get you holding a grudge for so long that you're so angry that you don't really take the opportunity to really live life at its full capacity, you will never know what your blessing is. You will never know what your gift is. You will never fulfill the purpose. That's what it is. So this is why it's ultimately important that you let that grudge go and you forgive, because this is not for other people. This is for you. You have some amazing things that are designed for you to do with your life. Now, there's two things that you can't get back, time and energy. So why are you wasting it? Are you truly being productive with your time? Is there something far greater that you can be doing? Yes? Okay, then let's get to it. You have to release the negative. You have to let go of the things that you're holding on to that are no longer serving you purpose. It's time to let it go. If it's negative, if it's draining you, if it's not positive, you have to let it go. What does peace look like to you? Write that down. What does peace look like to you? Okay. Addressing where the hurt and the anger comes from is very important. It's the root of the problem. It's the core of the problem. You cannot overlap that. That's like building a house on quicksand. You have to go back to the root, to the foundation. Right? You need to know that in order to start the process of healing, in many situations, it's easier to determine what caused the hurt. So, for example, this person said something about me. They made me upset. They made me angry. So therefore, I shut down and I decided to ignore them. Something happened at work and they did something. So now I act different while I'm at work. Business partner did something, said something, didn't do things how I thought they should be done, or something actually really happened that truly mattered to you and you shut down and you didn't communicate that. You completely just shut down, blocked them out of your life. I'm done. This person cheated on you. A person betrayed you. I'm a good person with good intentions, and I'm always giving, I'm always doing for everybody, and it's never reciprocated. I'm always getting the short end of the stick. People only call me when they need something. Why is it that I'm the good person and I attract bad people? So I'm not going to be good no more. Right? We can go on and on. However, we still have to address what happened to create the pain and the grudge that you have formed and you're carrying and choosing to hold on to for their life. And holding on to it like it's an infant. It's, as children, they grow, right? They grow up and they go through life and they move out of our house eventually, we hope. It's time to stop babysitting this, right? It's time. This is your sign. This is your alert. This is your notification. Okay? Now, it's easier said than done to say, hey, I'm letting this grudgefulness go, this grudge behavior go, and I want to address it. I want to forgive. I want to move forward. It's easier said than done, right? It's a process. It won't happen overnight, but it can happen. It will happen with the active effort of you. Okay? Typically, when someone we loved and we trust hurts us, it creates the thought, why would they do that to me? Why would they hurt me? Then emotions and feelings rise into being upset. It can also lead to anxiety. It can also lead to depression because we are truly hurt to our core. Now then it transitions to a behavior and an action because now we've formed anger, sadness, even confusion. Then we react on it in some shape, form, or fashion by choosing to block everyone from our life, choosing to lash out, choosing to be frustrated, because it's going to come out in some other area. It's inevitable. That anger is going to come out, and you're going to push that on somebody that doesn't have anything to do with why you're angry. Right? We're being honest. We're being transparent. But we have to understand that people are not perfect. We are human. We all sin. We all fall short. Now, does that make it excusable? No. Because there are some people who have experienced some very, very hurtful things that they may not get past, and they may not even have the opportunity to confront the person that hurt them, and probably don't want to and don't need to. But choosing to forgive and move forward with your life and heal is for you. I choose to forgive this particular act that was done to me because I know that there's better for my life. Right? So, many times we hold people to too high of an expectations that they may not be able to fulfill. Now that's honesty. Ask yourself and write this down. Have I been holding someone up in my life to higher standards that they cannot fulfill? Have I even communicated that with them? Have I actually sat down and talked? Write that out. If you decide to hold on and to dwell in the hurt, the act, the pain, or whatever the situation is that happened to you, that enhances, that builds resentment, that builds hostility, that builds anger, and it takes root, and that's what you're growing. You are the seeds that you plant. So is that what you really want to be? Is that how you really want to be viewed at? Is the angry, mad person that's going to be mad and upset for the rest of their life? Is not going to get to enjoy life? You know, there's so many things that you can be doing. Dating you, going out, taking walks, going to the beach. You know, the best form of peace that I had once I started to really see me and like, I really was like, you know what, girl, you is beautiful. You're beautiful. And I'm not saying that in the sense of fitting a profile, right? I mean, seeing the authentic, genuine me. The fact that God created a good woman. I'm loyal, I'm true, I got a kind heart, I bring a lot to the table. I am truly beautiful inside and out, flawed and all. No, I'm not perfect. I don't have a small waist and I'm not snatched and all of that. And I don't have to be that. Society does not get to define my beauty. That's where I started to set the tone. And where I started to transition from there is understanding that I didn't need a host of people in my life. You know how you grow up watching TV and different shows and you're like, you know what? You imagine that's how your life is going to be. For me, it was girlfriends. I just knew when I grew up, I was going to have me 4 good girlfriends. We was going to travel together, talk about our problems together, go to drink together. We was going to be in each other's life, but that did not happen. You are lucky in life to get one true friend. A loyal one at that. Life is life and for a lot of people. And people are consumed in their own life. So if you have one good, loyal, true friend, you are truly blessed. But you know the best peace that surpasses all understanding that I experienced is when I started to sit in solitude and I can enjoy moments in my house, drinking my wine, drinking my coffee, just doing me. Went out to eat by myself. Go on walks by myself. Sit by the bench at the lake by myself. Sit outside on my bench on my porch and let the wind blow by myself. Start doing things with just you and developing that peace of mind, experiencing life with just you. And then you can therefore set the tone for how other people treat you in your life, because your energy and your spirit and your presence is going to speak volumes. Don't be like, oh, she different. He different. Seems comfortable and confident. Now, confident is not about your exterior. Oh, I'm in shape, I'm fine, I'm fit, I'm long hair, beautiful skin tone, no flaw. That's not what I'm talking about. True confidence is knowing who you are, knowing your worth, and knowing what you bring to the table. And you are confident and you're secure in that. That's what we're trying to get to. Okay? Now, where are we in my notes? Okay. We talked about setting too high of expectations that people may not be able to fulfill. And what happens when you choose to hold on to the hurt and the anger, and that you are now manifesting that energy. And it can impact other areas what you're praying for. And I spoke on this earlier, how you want God to bless you in one area, but you being negative and upset and mad in another area. Are you being productive or counterproductive? Hey, cut that out. I have a Frenchie, and he does the most to the other dog, and I don't understand why. I think he got a little person complex. Now, we have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to understand that we can't be asking God to bless us with a house, bless my business to grow, bless me to be promoted in my job, but yet we've allowed a grudgefulness and something that happened, and now it's formed into anger, and that's how we're trying to walk through life. God is saying, I'm going to give you this small thing and see how you handle it, and see how you can pray and truly let that go and release it, so I can comfortably bless you with abundant blessings, right? We can't harbor ill feelings and expect good manifestation. If you allow the negative feelings to outweigh the positive, you may find yourself living in an uncomfortable place, living with bitterness. The sense of injustice has been done to me, so that's how I'm choosing to function in my life. It's not productive. We then lack self-accountability because we fail to see how some situations, not all, remember, I'm not saying that this applies to every situation, to everybody, how we could have handled something differently. Could it very well be that you could have addressed the situation at its root, at its core, at its foundation, and truly let that person know how you feel, not lashing out, but speaking your truth? Could it have been resolved at this point? Possibly. Could it have not manifested into what it is now if you would have been more honest and transparent in the moment? Possibly. Okay. Now, true, some individuals are innately more forgiving than others, but anyone can learn to forgive. And it's not just forgiving in the past or forgiving the act. It's truly understanding what forgiveness is and knowing what it is for you. Now that you've identified that you're holding a grudge and what happened to you, you've written all that down. Now you've taken the first step to wanting to be better and wanting to do better, right? Wanting to be the better version of you and taking control over your life and not continuing to live at being mad all the time and trying to function in hurt. And smiling. Did you smile today? Did you just look in the mirror and say, you is the bomb? Just smile. You know how much better you'd be if you would smile more? Think about it. So what's the next step? So in the next series, we will address how holding a grudge impacts you, not just mentally, emotionally, but health-wise. You'd be surprised the health risks that you are causing onto your life by holding on to this grudge. Okay? Now, once we complete this series, it's not an all to fix all. I'm not saying that, hey, you're going to watch all 4 series, I'm going to be healed, build, and restored. These are resources and tools and tips that I'm providing you with that helped me, that I hope can help you. Now, in some instances, speaking with a licensed therapist is very beneficial. It can provide you with long-term benefits of you being set up with success. I have a therapist. She is phenomenal. She is wonderful. She has turned into being an awesome coach, an awesome motivator for me. I truly thank God for her. So you can develop very good partnerships and friendships with your therapist, right? Also remember, this is something you have to continue to work on every day. It's kind of like wanting to lose weight. Now, initially you say, hey, I want to lose 25, 30 pounds. And, you know, what's the first thing you do? You think about your diet and your meal plan and count. Some people do calorie count. I'm going to only do 1,600 calories a day. Or I'm going to do no carbs, no sugar, no sodas, no sweets. Just fruits, vegetables, whatever. And then you have some people who do the vegan or vegetarian diet. Whatever it is, you start there. Then you incorporate, hey, I'm going to work out. I'm going to walk 15 to 30 minutes a day. And then you say for a month, I'm going to see if I'm at my weight goal. Right? Once you lose the weight and you've hit your weight goal, it just doesn't stop there. Now you have to learn how to not only maintain the weight off, but maintain a healthier lifestyle. Hey, stop it. He does so much to be a little person. So sorry. My little Frenchie is harassing my German Shepherd. He gets on his last nerve, okay? His last nerve, and he just be so all day long. He just be turned up. I probably should take him walking, but anywho, that's what you hear in the background. I'm so sorry. So it's like that. We're addressing and identifying and acknowledging. And now we're working on being better, but it's going to take time. It's going to take steps. But you can do it. I know that you can, and I'm excited that I know that you will. I'm excited that you're here right now. You're watching this video. You know how many people will still stay and want to live in denial and be okay? I'm okay with being angry for the rest of my life until I leave this earth. No, that God did not make the world and life not to be experienced and lived in, and for us to learn how to love people. Okay? And understandably, some people we gotta love from a distance, because some people can't dwell in the space that we're in because it's just how it is, right? Now, what we want to do at this point is we want to be healthier mentally, emotionally, physically, and most importantly, spiritually. God needs to be your go-to, your guide. Speak to you, guide to you, lead you in every area of your life. And it's time to let go of the things that are not serving your purpose, that are not benefiting you at all, okay, in your life, not none whatsoever. Now, forgiving doesn't mean that you still function in the same capacity, and forgiving doesn't mean that you go back to that relationship and go back to how you were before. It just means that you're doing this for you, and you're learning how to be better. You're learning how to forgive. You're learning how to set boundaries. You're learning how to properly communicate. And properly communicating is effectively listening. Listening to hear, not listening to respond. I'm going to set those boundaries for myself. I'm going to properly and effectively communicate by letting the person know what hurt me and how I feel, and giving them time to respond, and me listening to that. Because there could be, not in all situations, a moment where I have to take accountability, and I may have to apologize. Because in an act of somebody offending us, I could have very well reacted and offended them. And then now it's a two-way street of grudgefulness. I'm holding a grudge, they holding a grudge. I'm mad, they bitter, I'm bitter. It's a cycle. And the cycle has to stop. Okay? Now, you're learning to forgive. Again, you're learning to set boundaries. You're learning to be better, because knowing better is doing better. Saying it, acknowledging it, addressing it, forgiving it, and moving forward. That's what we're doing. God does not want you to be unhappy nor live a grudgeful life. Okay? At all. I pray to have the peace that surpasses all understanding. God, help me, guide me, lead me to be better in every area of my life, and be the best version of me that I know that I can be, because that's what you put me here for. Okay? Now, thank you for attending this first series. Yes, give yourself a whatever it is, a clap, a tap on the back, because you completed this first series. You took your notes. You're going to sit back after this video and you're going to reread. And if you wrote down questions and you did not answer them after you finish this video, do that. Okay? And then you're going to start journaling and writing down your emotions and writing down how things are impacting you, so you can be cognitive and aware of your actions. Listen, I look forward to your feedback and knowing how this information is helping you. So please make sure you drop it in the comments and let me know. And if you're already working on this and doing this, please give us advice on how things that you've done have helped you. We want to build a community where we're helping each other, we're praying for each other. Also, if you have a prayer request, because I am a spiritual life coach and a minister, I want to be able to pray with you, for you, because you have to be careful who you let pray for you. Okay? Please make sure you send a prayer request. You can drop it in the comments, or you can email me at sunshinelifelover@gmail.com, and I will pray for you. I can email you back. I can set up a Zoom meeting, call you, whatever you want it to be. Okay? You are the most important person in your life, and we want you to be better. Okay? Listen, I hope you enjoyed. If you follow me on TikTok, then you know my motto. Be purposeful, be impactful, and most importantly, be great on purpose, because I know that you are, I know that you will, I know that you can. Okay? And if you don't follow me on TikTok, it's Sunshine Life Lover. I have tons of videos on there that are very informative and very great that could resonate for your life. Okay. And if there's a topic that you want me to discuss, let me know. Okay. Again, this is series 1. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in, right? You be blessed. You continue to work on you and be the best version of you that I know that you can be. Because you're awesome. You're the bomb. That's on period. Okay? This is your girl, Sunshine Love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm super excited for you. Yes. Yes. I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader. Your biggest motivator. Okay? And if you're looking for one-on-one coaching, let me know. I'm here for you. Okay? Have a blessed evening, night, morning, day, week. Okay? Stay tuned for series 2. Bye-bye.